Welcome to part 1 on the 3 video series where I'm going to teach you each element on how you can control the simulation, how you can start manifesting at the highest levels. And in this video, I'm going to teach you the first element, which is your attention. And I'm going to explain this that way you truly understand about the fourth dimension and quantum physics and about the law of assumption and why attention is so important to master to get yourself to that next level. So in your own manifestation journey, if you're going into an imaginal act, or you're doing affirmations, or you're doing scripting, or you're asking yourself questions, whatever it is, even if you're listening to a daytime affirmation abundance video, where is your attention? And attention is very important because the only moment that you can manifest anything is in the present moment, right now. And you have to be able to hold your attention on a feeling state without it going to yesterday or tomorrow, or this person said this to you, that person did this to you, this, I can't believe this is happening to me, wherever your mind is going, because the thoughts are like butterflies. And even Andrew Carnegie talked about this when he became a billionaire, and he was investigated about this, and they thought that he was doing something illegal, but then they investigated him and found out that everything that he was doing was just fine. It was completely legal, everything that he was doing. And they went and asked him, they said, "How are you doing this?" He said, "Because of my attention. I can focus my attention on one thing for long periods of time without worrying about what happened to me yesterday or tomorrow or the problems. I'm focused on positivity, and I could hold my attention on that positivity and the feeling of my wish fulfilled, or whatever I'm focused on, for long periods of time until I accomplish that." And even Neville Goddard stated this throughout his books, especially The Power of Awareness, where he said, in order to successfully change your concept of yourself, you must first have a developed, controlled attention. And all of this is so important to understand, because if you think about it, when you're manifesting something, knowing time, space, knowing quantum physics, knowing the law of assumption, that the present moment is is the only moment that's real. It's the only moment. And when you're living in the wish fulfilled, as if everything's already completed, where are you supposed to be? You're not supposed to be in the future. You're supposed to be right now. You already have everything in the present moment. And when you can hold your attention on that without thinking about, oh, well, this isn't, that can't happen. You know, how am I going to do this? Or this person said this to me when I was 5 years old, and there's no way that so your attention, okay, when you have a disciplined attention, you're not going to be thinking about any of those things anymore. So it's like developing this part of your mind, like any muscle of your body. Like once you develop this muscle, it'll do whatever you want it to do. And it gets stronger and more powerful as you develop it. And as you develop this skill with your attention, you can start using the law of assumption. You can start using visualization, because I thought I had aphantasia, or something was wrong with me, before I developed this muscle of my mind, my attention. I tried to visualize something, but as I laid down, or I was sitting down and I'm trying to picture something in my mind as if it's real, I'm 1,000 miles away within 3 seconds or 10 seconds or 20 seconds. I'm gone. I'm thinking about something else, and I can't even control it. I didn't even know what was going on until I developed the muscle of my mind to where I can truly, and with discipline, with that muscle of my mind, hold on to this picture in my mind, or this mental rehearsal in my mind, or if it's affirmations, but mental rehearsal in my mind. I'm bringing every sense in one at a time, developing the scene, and then playing it back like it's my own movie that I'm creating. And attention is so important in order to do this. In order to follow Neville Goddard's teachings, or the law of assumption, making something real to you right now and experiencing that to be real to you is the key to manifestation. It's the key to all of your success. Anything that you want to create, when you do this, when you develop this skill of attention and develop this muscle of your mind, you can do all of this. Because you don't have free will in the exterior world, in the external world, okay? You do not have free will. The only free will you have to act is from within you. That's what controls the subconscious mind, though. Your conscious mind controls that. Mind controls matter. Mind is conscious. Subconscious is matter. And this is how you control the subconscious. This is how you control the simulation, is by making these conscious impressions into the subconscious. And the most effective way, or one of the only effective ways to do it, is through visualization or creating a feeling state, however you're going to do it, is creating that feeling state with your attention focused in the present moment on something that you don't have yet, but you feel that you do have it already. And then you carry that into sleep, or you remind yourself throughout the day, just like Neville Goddard when Abdullah taught him about when he wanted to go to Barbados. He says, I want to go to Barbados, but I don't have any money. Okay, I don't have any money. What do I do? Well, start walking around the streets of New York as if you're walking around the streets in Barbados. Okay, what does that take? Attention. Attention. Neville Goddard had to use his attention and become presently aware in the moment with his attention, holding on to himself in the present moment as he's walking down the streets of New York and saying, this is not New York, this is Barbados. This is Barbados right now. And he's continuing to do that by holding his attention onto that feeling state and then falling asleep as if he's in Barbados, even though he's in New York. It's about controlling your attention. This muscle of your mind is how you control matter. Mind controls matter. Your conscious mind controls the subconscious through these impressions, and that's what it takes is your attention, that development of your attention. And when you have developed your attention, when you've gotten to a certain disciplined degree with your attention, you develop that muscle, and say your life isn't quite where you want it to be, and you want to manifest certain things, you're not going to allow anything to change your wish fulfilled. You're going to ask yourself questions. You're going to do affirmations. You're going to listen to sleep meditations, and you're not going to allow anything to distract you from that wish fulfilled. You're going to stay in that wish fulfilled in the present moment, and you're going to hold on to it right now in the present moment when you're going throughout your day. You're going to have that developed attention to where somebody tells you something that completely contradicts it. You're not going to react to it. You're not going to do any of this. You're not going to do any of that. You're going to stay focused right on that. Remember? Walk the streets of New York as if they're Barbados. So what is something in your life right now that you don't have, but you want to have? So you have to use that application, the same one as that. So if you're walking down the street and you see all these beautiful houses and your house isn't that beautiful, it's nothing like these other houses, and you're kind of walking around those streets as if like you're not really confident. You're kind of like, these houses are so nice. What are these people doing that I'm not doing? Why are they so wealthy and I'm not wealthy? That is not living in the wish fulfilled. Okay, that is the opposite of what you should be thinking. What you should be thinking is your house is 10 times nicer than any of these houses. You have the nicest house on the street and everyone is thinking this of you. Okay, but in order to do this, you have to have control of your attention. Otherwise, your mind's just going to play tricks on you. It's going to make you feel like it's going to make you react to the three-dimensional world as if this is just the way that it is. I'm being treated unfairly. What are they doing that I'm not doing? Why are they so wealthy? But when you have control of your attention, you can catch yourself. You can catch yourself and say, wait a minute, I'm not going to think this way. I'm going to walk down this street with confidence that my house is the most beautiful house on the block. And you can use this for anything that you're trying to create in your world. You have to catch yourself before your mind starts doing this. Before your mind starts saying, oh, these houses are much nicer. Oh, these cars are so much nicer than mine. These people make so much more money than me. These thoughts, you have to catch yourself as you're starting to think them. You catch yourself and you say, wait a minute, no, I'm not going to think that way. I make more money than they do. I'm more confident than them. Great things always happen to me. And you're feeling that in the present, and you're holding your attention on yourself, with your body, everything. You're holding everything together with your attention, truly feeling this. And you can use this for anything that you're manifesting. You can do it. You can set timers throughout the day if you're just working on trying to do this, and eventually it'll be like autopilot. Your mind will be from your attention that you've developed. You will now have changed your mindset. So your mind's now going to be trained. It's like training any muscle of the body. It's the same exact thing, but you're training it of your mind. So now when you're walking around seeing negative things, your mind's not going to react. It's going to catch itself. Then once you develop attention, then it's going to catch itself. Your mindset has changed. You'll be like, wait a minute, no, I'm going to walk, talk, and act as if my wish is already fulfilled, no matter what is happening. No matter what is happening in the simulation, I know how it works. I know how to apply the law of assumption. I know how to live in my wish fulfilled. And your attention, your brain, your mind is now trained to do this Over time, you develop this, but at first you may need to do certain things to start developing this sort of muscle. And as you train this muscle and you get so far advanced with it, your mindset completely changes. And even when you're not trying to control your attention, your mind now works for you. Now it's thinking positive thoughts because you've trained it that way. It's always thinking of the best outcome everywhere you're going. So now you're using the law of thought transmission, because you're a positive person. Your mind is designed that way. Now you're thinking, these people are great. These are great people. These are good people. These people are doing great. Everything works out perfectly for me. Everybody loves me. You just have this lucky sort of mentality where everything just works out for you perfectly because you're sending out those thought waves through the law of thought transmission. You're sending out all these thoughts of positivity everywhere to everyone, and then you're attracting all these great people and great things and opportunities to come to you without you having to do anything because you had trained your attention. Your attention now has shifted to where you've become in a new state of consciousness. You have now successfully changed your concept of yourself successfully by changing your attention. So now once you develop the attention, now you can successfully change your concept of yourself, which you already did. And now you're just attracting all these other things automatically to you, because you can't think outside of your state of consciousness. So once you develop these skills, you're going to be attracting all these things to you now because of the new state of consciousness that you're in. And once you develop your attention to this degree, then you can hold on, then you can figure out what you want. If there's something outside of your state of consciousness that you want, now you can make new impressions and then raise your states of consciousness up as you're going to sleep at night, and also controlling your reactions throughout the day. But it's automatically going to be doing that for the most part. But if you want to change your states of consciousness, you change what you're going to fall asleep doing. And now you have your attention. Now you can say, okay, now I want this new car, or now I want this new house, now I want this other relationship, now I want this, now I want that. So then you picture it, you find out what it is. What does the end look like? What does it look like? Okay, so you think of it, then you plan and prepare it, write it down, and then prepare, a mental rehearsal in your mind. You play it out because your attention is developed now. Now you don't have a problem visualizing. Now you don't have aphantasia. Now you don't have any of these other things, ADHD and PTSD and, depression. All these things are now gone. Now that you can hold your attention and you've shifted your mindset, now you're this whole new person. And now you're like, okay, I'm going to visualize this. I see myself here. I see myself here. I hear things. I'm seeing things. I'm smelling things. I'm touching things in my own imagination. It feels real. I'm not going a million miles away every couple seconds. And now, boom, I landed it. I'm falling asleep, landing it every single time. Anything that I'm trying to create with that intention to succeed. Then you wake up the next day, you're in a new state of consciousness where you're acting in that state of consciousness that's directing you to those things, and you're attracting all of this to come into your life, all because you developed the muscle of your attention. The muscle of your attention is so important. I know there's a lot of different coaches out there, a lot of different channels that never talk about this. They say, just affirm this, or just do this, do this, do this. But they never get to the fundamentals of actually mastering it and really getting to the core part of this, which is changing your concept of yourself and shifting your state of consciousness, which requires this level of attention. Because if you think about it, if your attention isn't in the present moment, then you're not even a real person. Then you're not really in the present moment. You're living in the past, living in the future, and your whole life's going to pass you by. You were never even present. You were never even there because you didn't develop this skill of the present moment with your attention. And if you study anyone that's super successful, or you talk to anyone that's super successful, whether they knew it or unconsciously or consciously creating it, they have developed a high level of attention. And if they knew about they can really apply it, then they could 10x their success. If they knew about the law of assumption, but you gaining your attention and then knowing what to do with it, knowing what you fall asleep with is created within the simulation, then it's projected from inside of you out from the projector, then you can create anything that you want 10 times faster than someone that doesn't know about it. That's what you're doing here. That's the magical part about this, developing these skills, finding these successful skills, and then applying them with the law of assumption, with your imaginal acts, with your affirmations, with that high level of attention. So we're going to get into this much further, and I'm going to get into different elements in the second video of the 3-video series to come very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. And I'm going to take you to the next level. I'm going to explain and break down all the elements. That way, when we're done with this, you're going to be able to really start manifesting and really at least know what you need to do in order to successfully use the law of assumption and manifest and pass everyone by. You're going to be a master manifester if you understand these elements and you really start using what I'm going to give you, the information that I'm going to give you, you start applying that, you're really going to get to the next level. All right, I love you all, and I'll see you in video number 2.